regardless of what happens, it's looking very stable because if I floor all 4 of my Galaxy of Color NFTs now, I'm taking in the 0.13 Ethereum profit. Just like that. 0.13 Ethereum profit from this project. Hey there folks, welcome back to another episode of NFT Greens with Salad Ventures, and we're going to dive right into the content after what has been a very interesting 2 weeks of heavy research, interacting with Twitter Space, and finding out more about this industry. Now you can tell that my collection has gone very dark indeed, and in a moment you will find out why I am using this as a case study for those of you who are going to be trying out NFT purchasing for the very first time. All the key components to what could potentially lead to a very good project. Now, if you've caught episode number 1, you would know that I started out my journey first, the frogs. Alright, so we got the plague, and then of course, we ventured into brawler bears as well. Now, I have a video about what are brawler bears, and it's a 5-minute video, so you could take a quick peek at that as well. But essentially, there is a very good synergy between the plague and the frogs, or rather between the plague and the bears, which is why I went into those collections at first, alright? But I wanted to try and get in on something a little bit lower in value because of the liquidity that I was giving myself. I wanted to be disciplined with a fixed budget and see how I can actually grow my resources from there. So without adding in liquidity, I was able to use the rest of my funds, move some other NFTs around, and that was from way before I even purchased NFTs. So I just happened to be an airdrop that I invested in. So I managed to get some liquidity and I used that to pool into the Dark Flex. Alright, now the very interesting thing about this collection, alright, obviously, is that it's a very unique JPEG PFP. Alright, so many out there are of course going with the animals and whatnot, and you rarely see them in black and white. Alright, so that was the first thing that stood out for me in regards to the collection. Alright, and the second thing is not only is the coloring so good, but the art of the characters as well is phenomenal. Alright, so they all look amazing, and it is all about collecting the rarer traits. Okay, so this was actually a free mint, and then what happened was that it blew up all the way to like 0.08. Okay, that was the highest we've ever seen. Now you can see that on the marketplace, right? You have all these listings that are going at 0.04 with purchases of up to 0.078, 0.077, this fella over here, 0.0699, this fella here as well. So we've had a pattern for 1 week already where the pump will come in, people will buy, and then it will start to dip again, and then they will start to release it at half the price. Alright, so there are a ton of people who are losing money on this project, and the community on the site is just continuing to grow day by day as we add to this pool of dedicated community members. Now, the best part of it all is that they have been building up a mystery lore. Alright, when it comes to the collection of the NFTs, we had different reveals throughout the whole experience, alright, about all these little teasers, and they have all pieced together to form this map. Alright, and this is currently what we know of the story. Okay, we know that we have all these we have this group of individuals who find themselves about to participate in a mysterious ritual to ultimately chase eternity. Alright, so that's very interesting. There's even a magician here who is conjuring up some spells. So it has a very interesting and mysterious lore about it, and that is what is really pulling in the community together, because we don't even know what's going on. Now, when we started out investing in this, we were actually able to sell a few of them for profit because of the royalties that we started out with, which was quite insane. Because normally a project, they would start with royalties so that they can earn that little bit of E from all the trading and then use it to pump into the project. But this project actually started out for its first full week, free mint, and also no royalties. Alright, so that alone is just screaming out that they are very focused on building the community first. It is only after 1 week and after the launch of the website that they decided to increase the royalties to 4%, which is not a big amount as well. But again, all this pointing towards the community building, and right now you are able to see a whole new wave of folks coming in who want to build this. Okay, now what is again very unique about this is that you are able to fine-tune your collection in a way. So I was able to, let's say for example, purchase my first ever flex at 0.0399, and then during one of the pumps, all right, I decided to let him go at 0.052. All right, this fella here I purchased for 0.04, sold at 0.056. This fella that I sold for 0.0568 was in fact purchased here for 0.0449. So on and so forth, all right, and with some bigger sales coming in, I think I managed to get this punch at 0.039. Yes, it's a wound trade, and then I sold him for 0.062, and then this fella all the way down 3075, one of the earliest ones that I bought, again at 0.04. He has a unique eye trade called the Matrix, alright, and I managed to sell him before the dump at 0.078 because of the unique part, and then since then I've stocked up on a few more. So in total, every single flex that I've sold generated profit. Alright, it's not much, but I'm thinking it could bring me close to 2 extra dark flexes, okay, the floor ones. Alright, so again, it's not much, alright, and you know, the timing also still could have been better because there were times where the collection was sitting really good at 0.08, right, and I wanted to let go one of the first 2 that I bought, which don't really have very high rarity, right, these 0.048s. I wanted to let them go, but I had a feeling like we were going to go a bit higher and I was wrong. Alright, so it actually does turn out, right, that the community building process is very, very long. Alright, I've only been in this for a couple of weeks, so I don't fully understand it, but because I was able to draw from another collection's history, alright, which is the Genuine Undead. Now, I think I briefly mentioned them in the first NFT episode. Now, this is an amazing project that is built strictly out of community as well. And get this, alright, a lot of the Genuine Undead folks are also in Dark Flex, alright, because they can see the synergy and the resemblance to what GU used to be like in the early days. This collection, according to some of their core members, was able to go up as high as to 0.2 and then crash all the way down to 0.03. Alright, get that, 0.2 and then crash all the way down to 0.03, and then people continued scooping. It went back to 0.09, and then now you have this reaching heights. I believe at one time it was like 0.43. I mean, there was talk that it even reached as high as 0.9. I'm not sure about that though. Let's see whether really that really did happen. Oh yeah, okay. So it seems like it actually at one point of time hit almost as high as 0.9. Sorry, I thought I misread that in the Discord, but you can see here that it managed to go up as high as 0.72 average price, right? So meaning the floor could really have been that high before it took a little bit of a dip, went up again, and then now it's come all the way down to where it is today. Alright, but the fact remains, no matter how much the price swings, the ultimate goal for any successful project is the strength of the community, because there's going to be a ton of people that will come in, buy, and then dump. So my advice to you, alright, or rather they will stop losses by selling at 50% of what you paid for. The most important thing to take out of this lesson is to support the project with the community and hold without selling at a loss. Okay, if you're not in the position to like hang on to that liquidity, right, then that's a different ball game, and I don't think it's going to work out for you in the NFT scene. But if you are putting in money and you have every intention to grow it, you should not be taking it out by cutting losses. Okay, these community built projects will always rise, and it's only a matter of time before they reach that significant level of value, because they are just collecting community day by day, and they are absolutely blitzing in terms of Twitter and Discord engagement. The amount of announcements on their Discord is absolutely crazy. You leave it untouched for a few days, it could easily go up to like 100 announcements, whether it's for like Twitter Spaces, Twitter raids, mini announcements, etc, etc, etc. It's non-stop. Alright, so again, when I draw from that reference from Genuine Undead to Dark Flex, right, that is what I see in this project. Okay, and just like that, we have come back down to the 0.04 mark. But get this, if you look at my portfolio, you will be able to see that I have caught a specific group of rare individuals, all right? So their rarities are all very, very low because they all have specific parts that I'm targeting, all right? So these guys, we have a couple of decent eye traits, a very good face trait, the lab mask. This one, we have another combination there between the eye and the clothes. This one, we have a wound. So you can see the rarities are all very low, and the prices that I'm going in, right, they are not at a dangerous level as well. And also with some of the sales that I managed to pick up, right, those were also, again, purchased at the right time, and then of course taken advantage when the floor does go up, so you can use those proceeds to improve your collection, right? So that's what I've been doing. Every time I get money back in, I try to find another good deal during the dump, all right? Now, this is not in any way, I feel, not supporting your project, all right? I still feel it's okay to do this, to take profits, all right? Because the end goal is that you are determined that this project is going to succeed, and what you want to do is to take advantage of this time to build on as more as possible. Because if you just buy an entire wallet's worth of dark flags, right, and you don't move them around, you're not going to expand on that number. 10 is going to be 10, all right? But let's say you have 10, you sell 2, you use the value from those 2 to buy 3, your collection is now 11. So that's what I'm trying to get to, all right? You build on this on a daily basis, and this project has only been out for a week, all right? Just 1 week, and this is all we know so far. Okay, so super exciting. Take this as a lesson in regards to picking a project you want to support, especially if you want to come in at this particular region, right? I feel that it is very affordable, and it is also a very, very good risk to take. This is not financial advice. Again, please do your own research. But the most magical part is fall in love with the art, fall in love with the law, and stick with your community as well. Those are the all main attributes for long-term NFT growth. This is what I can tell in my first few weeks, and more research is going to come. So you get to grow with me, especially if you're new. You can go on this journey together and see what unfolds. Okay? Now, on that note, we have a separate subject, all right, which is on minting. Okay, so this is my Dark Flex wallet. I'm going to go over to my secondary wallet, and this one that I have over here, all right, will feature a few interesting things. All right, so you notice that these fellas, right, I wanted to try minting, all right, minting a project. I've never done that before. Technically, I've done it before, but it wasn't even me that got into the alpha, so I don't feel like it was me that did it. But I managed to find a tweet on Galaxy of Color, and this was on one of the community chats that I'm in, Brawler Bears, alright? So again, getting into good communities is definitely a plus for you in your NFT journey, because I was given this alpha, and basically these fellas were all minted for 0.02, alright, 0.02. But get this, okay, I was able to mint 6 at 0.02, and during the period of time when the hype was up, right, I was able to sell them, let's see, there you go, for 0.059, all right, so I sold 2 for 0.059, covering my minting costs, okay, and again, at one point in time, it was at 0.07, I was thinking about selling another 2 more, but I was greedy and I went above it because I think the project is worth more, and the floor has now since dropped back to 0.034, okay, so regardless of what happens, it's looking very stable, because if I floor all 4 of my Galaxy of Color NFTs now, I'm taking in the 0.13 Ethereum profit, just like that, 0.13 Ethereum profit from this project, alright, and to me that's an absolute win. Now the whole steps about this, right, again, after receiving the word of the project, right, the thing that I did was when I hopped onto Twitter was that I really started to look at their Twitter and see the engagement, alright? And the engagement is very, very genuine, and they have a lot of stuff happening that are linked to the developers of this project, who's the artist, and how they're going to set up a Discord after it's all been minted out. And there were only 821, alright, if I'm not mistaken, 821 art pieces, okay? Then if you go back to the main page here, right, you can see they sold out, and you know, there's just a ton of interaction, everything looks good, okay? So I think, once more, if you hear about alpha regarding these kind of projects, okay, you need to be very, very careful with what they are selling, alright? So thankfully for me, I based my decision on the Twitter engagement and of course the art, right? Because it's so freaking good. But again, that's the other flip side of this story. All these, in a way, can easily be created by somebody with Midjourney, right? For those of you who don't know what Midjourney is, in fact, I don't really know much about Midjourney. It's an AI that can generate and say it for what it is. So you might be a little bit apprehensive, alright, about how much work has actually gone into the NFT itself. Oh, this is the picture that this fella bought from me. Yeah, this was mine, 0.059. But I digress. You can tell the art is good. Alright, but you need to be very, very careful. Now, I was only looking at Twitter research for this. I went in, I got my mint cost back. I'm good. Alright, let's look at something absolutely shite. Okay, introducing the Pokemono. Alright, so again, I received alpha, but it wasn't from a Twitter group. Okay, I'm only part of one Twitter group for now anyway. So I just saw this on my timeline and I instantly FOMO. Alright, because when I saw the collection, I was just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, they are so cute. I love Pokemon. How is this not gonna fly? And I was in that victory mood, alright? That victory mindset from the Galaxy of Color collection, alright? So I went absolutely FOMO into this. Didn't check properly, minted 3 at 0.008. Ouch, right? 0.008. per Pokemon, right? And it turns out to be nothing more than a rug, alright? Why? Because, okay, what happened was that I knew it was not going to do well when I went into my profile and I clicked my NFT, okay? First of all, the picture doesn't expand to the full width of the image box. To me, that felt weird. If it's not a portrait, by right, it should fill up the whole thing, right? But so far, this was the first one that I've seen that doesn't fill up. So that was the part that concerned me at first. What made me even more worried was that there were absolutely no traits. No traits whatsoever. No description of whoever this author is. As when you look at Galaxy of Color, whole different ballgame. You got a proper description. You got a proper website with terms and license agreement. And you got properties. Okay, sorry, I kept saying traits. You have properties. Okay, so it's all very well built. And again, look, there are so much details there, okay? So that was the mistake. That was the mistake. I did not check a Pokemono on secondary market. I did not. I just minted and I went to look at them when they were revealed. Big mistake, alright? Because then I realized that I bought absolute garbage. No description from the creator. Nothing here about the Pokemon. It was just a one-liner, an absolute cash grab. No traits, no properties whatsoever, and a horrible picture sizing, and it doesn't even look sharp as well. Fair play to Pokemonos, alright, because they managed to hook a few of us, including me, alright, color me scammed, alright, but you can see that there are people who are deleting their tweets because they're just so ashamed that they bought this. They were so ashamed that they were robbed. And there's even one from a suspended account. Could it be that they're tweeting themselves to get engagement? Because there was absolutely no engagement, alright? But I looked at the Twitter so briefly, got excited, and FOMO'd like the rest of this group, alright? I don't know how real this is. See, I even tried to like get started because I was like quite happy, right, with how they looked and all that. But then when I saw the trades, I realized that I'm in so much trouble. But even this fella, right, I don't even know whether he's the real deal or not. He minted like maybe 20 or 15 of these Pokemonos, alright? And he even had the cheat, right, to show that they were the #1 on IC2. So because of the Twitter play, it was strong enough to convince me to make that dive. But again, just a very, very regrettable mistake. Okay? So, friends, one more thing. When it comes to the art now, don't be fooled. Okay? Nowadays, people can just create this very, very easily with Midjourney. Alright? And number 2, try and go into the secondary. Okay? If the collection is not minting out quickly, alright, and you got ample time to mint, then don't rush. Seriously, just don't rush. Okay, take your time. Even for Galaxy of Color, right? Galaxy of Color took like a full 36 hours to mint out. And this was considered a success. With proper backing, it still took 36 hours to mint out. 821 pieces. These JJ Mons over here, right? these Pokemonos, they are stuck at 259. There's only supposed to be 777. So the scam, he only worked the scam for like 1 day, alright, and then he decided to pack it up. Not a word more from the project, okay? So like I said, moving so slowly, just go and do the in-depth research. Go to the secondary market, okay, and check it out. Now there's another one here that I do want to highlight that, again, not exactly free mint, 0.05, 0.005, but essentially this was a play at the checks collection that's very popular right now, right? So I heard a bit of it, got myself a few, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Alright, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Even though there's not much of it, there's only like 2,000 pieces. It's nice, okay. So I will still value these guys a little bit more than these, alright? Because at least this is part of a proper collection and inspired by the original checks artists, yada yada. These fellas, on the other hand, are absolute garbage, okay? And that one has no potential. This, you never know. One day, if somebody picks it up and wants to add it to their Twitter feed and people see it, and then, you know, more purchases come in, it becomes renowned as an OG from the checks era, then sure, maybe they might collect something. Maybe. So there's still hope. But for Pokemonos, absolutely none. Okay, absolutely none. Now, on to the next topic, alright, because again, inspired by my success on Galaxy of Color, my small success, we received another tweet from the community channel, alright, the community group from Brawler Bears, and they're talking about this collection called Moon, alright. So again, drawing back on what you need to look out for, alright, proper detailed descriptions, okay, followed by very good positive community energy, okay. This is genuine. It doesn't look like some stage crap, okay. And we went into the artist's Twitter feed and took a look at the rest from the previous collection, which was the Sun, and there's a lot of good engagement as well. It just seems to be very, very unknown, okay. So again, by researching into it, you will get to pick up a lot of interesting nuggets, alright. And although most of the information was given to us on the Twitter group, right, on the Twitter group chat, we were able to see that this Moon collection, right, is in fact part of a Quiet World edition, okay. And if I'm not mistaken, these are the only 2 items that will be part of it, and then they'll do one more in a few more months. I mean, that's what I remembered seeing on the Twitter. But essentially, right, get this. Here's the interesting thing. There are only 36 owners, and I think over 90 that was minted, alright, and no one is listing them, okay. That's interesting. And number 2, there's one here on floor at 5.75, alright. But from what we can tell from Twitter, there were 3 times the weave offers coming in for the collection, and they were all not picked up. No one sold an art piece for 3 times the mint price, which is instant profit, right? You sell one, you're out of the game. They all kept it. And then they were all airdropped additional art pieces as well, those that max minted according to the message, yeah? So now we're at the same page, okay? I minted 3. Alright, 3 is gonna be my minting number in my NFT journey. So I minted 3. And as of now, there are 100 that have been minted. And they will go on Twitter Space 30 minutes before the mint ends to talk with the Brawler Bears team. Now at least there's some activity, right? Because there's an actual team, an actual project, actual group of individuals going on doing things. Not like once more, those Pokemonos. Okay? Cannot stop talking about them enough, seriously. Because this will be my great shame in my NFT journey. Alright? My great shame. Alright? Absolutely nothing there. Okay? And I just FOMO'd right into it. Hit right into the sand. No one knows where this can go. Alright? Again, the floor is 5.75 Ethereum. One person listed it. That says a lot. Alright? It's worth the gamble. Alright? It's worth the gamble. There is something being built here. There is some community. Okay, so 0.009 is a little bit more expensive than the Pokemonos, but if anything, this might give me the opportunity to claw some of that wasted funds back. Alright, so I've obviously managed to earn from Dark Flex in order to cover that and some gas I spent on Brawler Bears. So I'm pretty content with what I have right now. But again, you still don't want to make silly decisions when it comes to these things. Alright, so choose them carefully. when you get the alpha, take your time to digest this, all right? Take your time to digest all of this. Go and do all your research. Check it out on secondary. Check it out on secondary. So important. And then go and mint an amount that you're comfortable with. So there is speculation that if you max mint the moon, you are going to get another airdrop. We don't know that for sure. But I think by the time this video goes out to all of you, right, this will have already been minted out already. So we're going to track and see where this project goes as part of our NFT research, right? So there you have it. A very, very quick summary of what to look out for and what to not look out for. All right. I will be keeping close tabs with all of you regarding the Duck Flex journey. I think that's going to be one that's very, very interesting. So if we go back to the wallet, go. Right, you'll get to see once more all these fellas that are again a community building in a very similar fashion to a project that has already seen massive growth, massive dump, and massive unity throughout. All backed behind one concept: good art and strong community. Alright, so do check it out, do your own research. Again, it's not financial advice. We will have more content coming up to you in the very near future as we explore all that is green within NFTs right here at Seller Ventures. Bye-bye.